Good afternoon, everyone. It is a almost April day. It is about 50 degrees out, and we are getting ready to start doing some improvements, some mods, some make it our own kind of stuff to the camper. We bought, as you know, or may not know, we bought a Grand Design Imagine 2500 RL. Super thrilled, learning a lot about it as we go. And today what we're going to do is we're going to be installing a keyless entry on this door right here. Now, it's important before you go and jump in and to Amazon and order your keyless entry lock that you look at your doors. Like mine, I took a picture of it. You can see there's little details of this thing, and when you go to order them, there's going to have pictures to compare these. It's not going to be a bad idea for you to unscrew this. It's only 4 bolts, and I'll show you later on in this video how to do that. This thing just pulls right off, and then you can measure your cut, your actual rough cut in here. You want to make sure it's to the specifications of what you're ordering. I already did that. I know I'm spot on. And also, like, the reason you should consider replacing your keys is that these aren't all just separate. I mean, technically, you could probably go up to someone else's camper and try a key, and sometimes with dumb luck it'll work. So you want to consider replacing them, which I will be doing over time. Like I said, we're starting with that one down there. This will be next, and then I'm also going to replace the slam locks. They're expensive, so it will take a little time to do that over time, but like I said, we're going to start with that one today. All right. So as I said, we're going to install our keyless entry today, and what I chose was this Carmtek 10-digit keyless entry handle RV door lock. Now, I did some research, and there were a few reasons I chose this one. I chose this one because it does have 10 digits for a more secure code. Most of the other brands only have 8 digits. I also chose this for the some of these features that you can see on the side here. The volume control, the 10 digits, the 2 interior latches. That's a big deal to me too. I noticed some of the other brands don't have that. They have just the deadlock on the inside instead of both, and it has 2 key fobs. What it also has is a backlit keypad and waterproof technology. We'll see. Okay, I don't, maybe it's built in or whatever. 10-minute easy installation. We will see. Heavy duty construction. So like I said, this was the best choice for me and our camper, and like I said earlier, it is important to do the measurements before you order. And so let's get into it. So what's in the box? What's in the box? All right. It comes with your user manual, and then it comes with a thank you purchase card. And I read this, and it's important when you order this. It says register within 7 days after receiving your product. Tick tock, tick tock. So make sure you get this and register as soon as you open this box and get it. Don't sit it on your shelf for 2 weeks and lose that on your warranty, apparently. So do that. There is this foam. I'm wondering if this is the waterproof technology. We'll see. I kind of looked through the manual already. Surprise, surprise. And it didn't show anything about this, so we will see where this is being used. I think it's maybe if your opening doesn't fit just right, maybe it's just for an extra seal. We'll see. Okay, so then it comes with some batteries, a brand I have never heard before, but I don't know. We'll see how long they last. And it comes with the plates that you need, as well as an extra backer keypad, because it looks like from a lot of other research and reviews that these things do get cracked and need to be replaced, and it is nice that it comes with an extra one so that down the line if this one gets damaged, you can just replace it. So they're thinking ahead there. So I guess you're just going to have to leave that in a safe place for if you ever need it. And then the meat and potatoes of this guy right here is the actual lock, or the whole latch. And you can see it's got a box here, there's a box there, and your keys are attached in here. So we're going to need to get some wire cutters to cut that off of there. And you can see that there is your signal wire that just kind of loosely hangs out in there. And it looks like you've got your two connections here that we're going to need to make once we put the front and the back on it. We're not going to do that yet. And yeah, I mean, you can see on this side you have your keypad reset code there. You have a high, low, and mute on your sound. You have a sync button for your fob. And I did read in the instructions that when you do put batteries in this and plug it in, it's going to beep as soon as you do that, and it doesn't matter if it's on and off. The on and off switch here is just for the fob. That's why it's in this square. This on and off switch has nothing to do with the actual on and off of the whole device. Just your fob. Like you said, it's very heavy duty, metal all around. Okay, so look, so there's your waterproofing seal. So it looks like it just came with an extra one, or maybe you put it on this side too if you need to. Yeah, it looks like you could do that, maybe so it's sealed better, but it does look like there isn't one on there already. Just forgot to show what was in these little boxes, which are the key fobs. Just show those real quick too. That's what was in those, as I was yanking everything out to see what they are. And those are your key fobs. I am assuming they already come with batteries installed on them. Ooh, they're shiny. So we'll be testing those too. I don't imagine I'll be using those a lot. I'll probably just be using the keypad a lot. So it'd probably be good to leave one of these in your car, as well as maybe one on your keychain. So first step, remove existing handle, and we're going to go do that now. Okay, so we are going to start by taking this old one off. We are just going to take these 4 screws right off right here. I could use a cordless screw for this, but I don't know. It's a delicate device here. We're not cranking down on 2x4s here and stuff. We're just unscrewing hardware, so it's usually better to just use a screwdriver for these little things. Okay, so now this will just slide right off, just like that. And all that, holding that on there were the 4 screws, and then you can see there was a little knob on there to hold the deadbolt. And that was it. So what we are going to do is, the next thing we have to do is we have to remove these 2 screws right here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Get that backer plate off of there. Yeah. And then this should just come out like that and just slide out right there like that. You should measure your opening. I have measured mine, and it is the correct measurements. You can see all the shavings from where they routed this sucker out. Might as well get that stuff off of there. So it's out of my way. Some foam in there. You can see the foam insulation inside your door, or at least on this one. Yeah. So that's our opening, and hopefully everything fits nicely in there. And we are now ready to install our new keyless lock and program it. All right. And there are our keys. Okay. So it says right here in the instructions, right here at the bottom, please do not place your mechanical keys inside your trailer. Keep them somewhere else outside of your trailer, in glove box, so they are available if you need them. So that's common sense, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe you're thinking, oh, I'm good with these being in my camper with that door, but no, that doesn't make sense. I would put these somewhere else in your glove box or something. Maybe even leave one of them in. So that's the deadbolt. I wonder if it works for both, so that you do have 2 sets of keys. Yeah, so these work for, so it looks like you have 2 sets of keys, which is good. So maybe give one to your loved one, hide one somewhere else, keep one, who knows, but that's for you to decide. Don't leave them in the camper. That's what it says. That makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to start removing these screws using a number 2 screwdriver. We don't want to lose these screws because we want to put them back in. So here, I suppose we'll throw them in this little box here so we don't lose them. All right. So let me get these out of here. As you can see, there are 2 flat ones and 2 pointy ones. My guess, and we're going to check, is that these ones go in right here. Yes, they will. So you're going to want to use the flat ones when you're screwing the back plate to that. So that's what our first step is we're going to go put this in and put this on the front door and kind of keep it there. It also says to kind of do it lightly. So let's go do this. All right, we are going to put this in. The instructions say to carefully feed your wire through there like that. And then you're going to take this, well, you're going to take that and feed that through, but you have to feed both of them through so that this guy will fit into there like that. And that's a, you can see, tight fit right there. All right, well, we got it through. And screw these in snug enough. So you definitely want to make sure that, you want to make sure that that plate is lined up so none of your your latches are gonna be like hitting this or hitting this plate and blocking it from coming through. So you can see how I'm kind of like straightening that up, and I'm not over cranking this and just kind of snugging it is what it said to do. That way it doesn't fall out on you while you're doing all this other stuff here that we're about to do. Okay, so onto that step, and yeah, you can see like that can go through and that isn't hitting anything. All right, on to the next step. Okay, so it does come with this plate, but this one is literally identical to the one that's there. So I don't see the point in doing that. It might need to be loosened and adjusted for this latch, but there's no reason. I don't, at least for me on this one, maybe it's different for you, but I am not going to need to replace that. There's no point in messing with that if you don't have to. So that's what those other screws came for, and like I said, I'd rather not unscrew something if I don't have to. So the next thing we need to do is just like this wire is just it's kind of like the antenna, it even says it right on it. So we just want that to kind of be in there but not in the way. And then we're going to need to be carefully, we're going to connect this other wire. There you go, that kind of like there, it's kind of out of the way. All right, so then we're just going to connect this wire and then put these screws on, and then we can program it, and that's what we're doing now. All right, I've been struggling with this already because of getting this wire in here, and this thing wants to push back in a little bit. So you got to make sure that you get this. See how it's kind of, you can see how it's kind of like pushing away on this side. So you got to kind of make sure it's nice and pushed up against there when we make this connection. And I think that might have to do with these. I think I'm going to have to loosen that up a little bit. So let's try that. All right. Let's try this again. Okay, so this will be your funnest part. This is where you have to kind of clip everything together and get it all lined up. The way they put this ribbon in on this one, it's stupid. You have to line it up so that the ribbon's flat this way so it hooks in, but then you got to twist the ribbon, which is silly. When you hook it in, it will beep like you heard, and then we're going to have to, this is what I'm saying, is like, you can see that the ribbon is flat like that, but it's upside down. I have to twist it around, which makes you have to twist the ribbon and then fold it so that it doesn't pinch in there. And this isn't going to be easy. You have a lot of things to line up. Locks that need to be in a certain position, and it's just not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Many minutes later.
Oh. I think I have it. Okay. That was not easy. I have it all together, and I'm pinching it with all my might right now to keep it together so I can at least get one screw set in here. That way I don't have to struggle to hold it all. Alright, now that I have it seated, one of the things I do want to show you real quick, and I don't know if you can see it, but what my struggle was, if you see right here, it's kind of sticking out away from a little, so I had to kind of push it in just enough to get everything on, and now I can go ahead and put all my screws in, and that should cinch that up nice and tight, and that's what we're about to do here. Hopefully you can still see that okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and take another screw here, and I think I'm going to do this one right here. It's going to be a little tricky because I'm going to have to push. Yeah, you see how like I got to push to get it. There we go. Now that I got two screws on there, I'm going to screw this other one on there nice and tight. Well, not too tight till I get them all in there. I'm going to snug that one, and I'm going to check and make sure everything's still working. Yeah, and then we're going to put this plate where it needs to be so that nothing's sticking out, nothing's touching. Okay, right there. Screw that down right there. Alright. And out. Okay. So, you can see I still have to screw that in. It's not all the way in, so we're going to push in on the outside here. I'm going to push in tight so they don't strip it. Come on, there we go. Okay. I can feel that get nice and tight, and I just don't want to over tighten it, but I do want to make sure. Yeah, so that's on there, right? And we don't want to make sure anything's binding. We want to make sure it's still beeping. Yep. All right. Now tighten this one up on top here too. Get nice and snug, but not over tighten it. Yeah, that's nice and tight. All right, and then 2 more screws, and that's it. All of our locks are working. All of our latches are working. Yeah. All right. It is installed, and now we are ready to go ahead and program it. Okay. So now that I've gone around and we checked all this stuff, made sure everything was tight, made sure all of our stuff was in place, the wires aren't pinched, everything's still working. You're not gonna be able to see it lit up here. Hopefully I'll try to get a shot at night and add it into the video just so you can see that. Okay, now that it's getting darker out, I just wanted to quickly show you how it lights up. You can see it lit up nice. Pretty cool. And that was it. Now that we have this in place and everything's working nicely, nice and smooth, that can go in and out. What we're going to do is just make sure that the screen door can shut right with it. So you got your latch here. That's working well. Loving that, by the way, that little thing. Didn't even realize that was a thing till I got this new camper. I like that. And we just want to make sure that our slide, everything's not in the way, and that like you'll remember, I didn't replace that latch. Look at that. Perfect. It actually does a better job than the old the OEM factory installed piece of crap. Okay, we are ready to go ahead and program this guy, and that's the final step of this. And what we need to do, what I did first is I just wanted to check these key fobs to see if they work, and it said that they should be programmed right outside of right out of the box. And I did check that, and they weren't working at first, and I thought, oh, maybe it was the batteries or something. But no, they do have batteries, and there's a little red indicator there that does show you. But what my problem was is that there is right here is the that is where you resync the fobs, or where you turn them on and off if you don't want them on at all, if you don't want to use them. Why, I don't know, but I mean, I guess there's a reason for it. But so it was off, so you have to make sure it is in the on position. You also should make sure that you are in the highest audible on here to hear the confirmations while you're doing this. I'll demonstrate later on the sounds of that, the different levels of sound of that. So what we need to do, and like I said, is these fobs, they come synced, and there's 2 of them. And you'll notice that there are 2 different colors on here. These top 2 white are for just a single door use, and then these ones are so you can close both. So if you have 2 doors, like I have 2 doors, and I will eventually be replacing that door with another one of these as well. And then when I do that, I should be able to sync that one and this one together, and be able to either close one individually or press these, and it will close, lock or unlock either of them at the same time. But what we need to do is, it comes with a default code of 1 2 3 4 on here to open and close this, and let me show you. So you have to use the code either way. You can't just come up and lock and unlock. You have to use the code to either lock and unlock it. So we're gonna go 1 2 3 4 and unlock it, and you can see that moved in and it beeped. And then we're gonna do 1 2 3 4 lock, and it came out like that. But we want to change that default code to something else. So what we need to do is you're going to press and hold this 9, and we want to make sure we do all this in with a 5-second idle period is what this programming has. So if you start it, you press that 9. If you don't press anything within 5 seconds, it's going to kind of default out of it, and you're going to have to go back in and try it again. The instructions also say if you do have problems programming this thing, that you can do a factory reset with the little thing that came with the keys. But knowing that doing that will also reset the key fobs, so you'll have to resync the key fobs if you get that far and have to do that. I won't have to, hopefully, and so we're going to go ahead and start doing this programming. So like I said, you're going to press this 9 and hold it, and you're going to hear a beep after 2 to 3 seconds, and then we're going to enter the default code to get into the program and press the lock button. Once we're into there, then we can add our code. We have to add our code twice, the first time and then a confirmation, so that you're confirming that that's what you want, and you have to press the lock key each time, and you'll hear an audible sound that says it took it. And once it's done, then we'll test it, and we're going to go ahead and do that now. So we're going to press 1, 2, 3, 4, lock. And now we're going to go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, lock. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, lock. Okay, so now this lock is programmed to that 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And we'll try that because you can see the deadbolt is locked. So we're going to go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, unlock. And look at that. It worked. Okay, so now what if you want to change that lock combination? Now to do that, this was tricky because I went right back to the instructions and tried using the default code to reprogram it, and that's not how it works. It uses the last code to when you go in to restart it. So let's put it back to the factory settings, right? So let's do that. So what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to actually press this 9 and put my old number in first, then put in the new key code. So every time you reprogram this, you have to use the old code that you used to get into it. So let me show you. So we're going to press 9 and hold it. Okay, and then we're going to do our number 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4, lock. Okay, now we're going to put the default back into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, lock. We're going to confirm that. 1, 2, 3, 4, locked. So now the key code is now 1, 2, 3, 4 again. So we can test that. 1, 2, 3, 4, lock. And there we go. So now when I am ready to go put our top secret 9-digit code to get into our fortress, all I have to do is press that 9, put in 1, 2, 3, 4, and put in our code. And we will be happy campers. And one thing I noticed, and it wasn't something I noticed right away, is that the door, this thing sticks out more than the original door did. And because of that, I mean, the other door was flush, and you can see that over here. So like, here's what the handle used to look like over there. So you can see how much flatter it is, right? So over here on this one sticks out pretty good. It sticks out. You can see that sticks out pretty far. What that does is now I have we have a magnetic little nubbins right here, and there's a plate right here. And when this door opens, it's supposed to connect to that, clunk, and you're good. But the problem is now is that because this sticks out more, it hits the wall before it hits the magnet. So just be aware of that. And what I'm doing is I'm doing a quick little fix. I happen to have stuff lying around. I found a chunk of plastic, hard plastic, and I cut it down to the same size as the plate that was here, the magnetic plate that sticks to that little nubbin over there. And all I'm gonna do is, and I lucked out too on finding screws that I think will be comparable to the extra length. And so all I'm doing is basically extending that out a little bit so that when it does open, it will hit that before this hits over there against the window and the wall, which is what we don't want. We don't want this thing scuffing this up and all that over time. Kids open doors quick, the wind could hit it and bang it. We don't want that. So I'm going to try to we're gonna put this piece on there and hope for the best, and I'll let you know how that looks in the end. This has now been installed. So I fully recognize that this thing looks janky and crooked, and I will point out that is not my fault. That is the fault of whoever put this on at Grand Design, because I put that back in the screw holes. This thing was crooked already, and making it stick out a little bit more, I guess, accentuates that fact. But the point here, the bigger thing, is that now connects and does not hit the side of the camper now, which is what we were trying to achieve. So like I said, just be aware that sometimes these things can happen when you're doing third-party installs. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with this thing. This thing is awesome. It does just stick out more, so be mindful of little things like that you might have to also fix. But other than that, I'm still really happy with this latch. I think it actually latches better than the original did, and I am really looking forward to replacing that one down there soon enough. And I hope that was helpful. If you have any comments, if you say, hey, you did that wrong, or you're stupid, or hey, that's awesome, thank you very much for helping me, and we would appreciate the comments. Again, this was for our Grand Design Imagine 2500 RL. Hope that's helpful. Have a good day.